everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we have two things we're going to do. We have a small Joanns haul, and then I'm also going to talk about my best farmers market so far. And also I'm going to show y'all a couple things that I've just recently finished crocheting. So first, let's do the Joanns haul. Okay, so here's the box from Joanns. I've already opened it, but I've cut it open, but I've not opened the box. And it's not that special of a box. Some of it is my mom's. The first thing we got here is from my mom. She's got, you hear scratching in the background, my cat is digging on a box. But we have sugar and cream. Hang on, let me fix this. There we go. We've got sugar and cream, and this is just white. I'm trying to remember why she bought this. I think it's for a blanket. No, it's for washcloths. These are for washcloths. She's making washcloths out of these. So this one's white. This one is Jade Mist. This one is Beach Glass. And then this one is black. So these are all four yarn. She has one of black. She's got, let me see. I thought we got two of everything, so I'm a bit confused. I might need to go back and check that. But we've got these. This next portion is yarn that I got for myself. It's a bunch of big twists. I needed to restock on some of the colors here, and I have other orders that I wanted to make sure I had enough yarn for. So all of this is big twist acrylic yarn. It's 100% acrylic, weight 4. And we've got this blue color. We've got orange. We've got cream. We've got baby pink. Let me find the label. There we go. And we have sapphire. Like I said, not a real exciting yarn order, and I don't think I'm going to put this up right this moment. I'm going to do this video, and I'll probably lay some out for each project instead of putting it over my shelf. But yeah, there's all the yarn. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just look at some stuff that I've recently finished. And I don't know what's in order, but this bag I made at, it might have been my last market. I think it might have been at the last market. While I was sitting there waiting for people to come through and look at stuff, I worked on this. And this yarn is pretty stretchy, so I tried to make it a bit on the smaller side of things. That way when this stretches all the way out, it's not extremely long. And I did not use a pattern for this. I don't know what the yarn is. I don't have the label. But I done half double crochets. Well, I done this whole bottom part as half double crochet. And if y'all want a tutorial, I can make a tutorial for y'all. I wrote down what I done on a sticky note. But I done half double crochet row, and then I done 2 rows of a single crochet, chain, skip 1, single crochet, chain, skip 1, and yada yada. But I done that all the way up here, and then I made a separate piece for the strap and sewed that on the sides, and then I made a separate piece for this latch and sewed a button down and sewed the latch on. And I thought about lining it, but I don't think I'll do that. And then the next thing I made was this hippie cowl. This was for an order, and I think the I wish the lighting would work in here because this is making me ill. But this is Red Heart. The rest of the cowl is made with big twist. And this pattern, I've had this pattern forever. I think it was free. This was like one of the first things I ever made, but I made it again the other day. And well, I should have mentioned, if y'all want any patterns that y'all see here, of course that bag I made it out of my head, but any other things, if y'all see patterns y'all like, just leave a comment down below and I will reply back to y'all what the pattern is, where I found it, and if you have to pay for it. But yeah, there she is. The next things that I finished were Pooh Bears. So I made the parts at the same time, and then I put together this Pooh Bear first, and I put him together I think on the 20th. And I put him together yesterday, which I just realized he needs eyebrows, so I need to go back and fix that. But this one, I done 2 different colors, because this one, a girl at the market last Saturday had asked me if I do custom orders. And I told her if I can find a pattern for something, I can definitely make her something. So she saw something, I think it was an Easter egg bunny that I had crocheted and I had set out. She saw it and she liked the color of it, so she asked me if I could make Pooh Bear in that color. So that's why he's this pale yellow color. And then this one, I done it in this mustard yellow color, and I think I like him better. But let me know what y'all think, because I think I like this better than this. But he was made because I have a order for a whole like set of Pooh Bear characters. So I'm very excited of having all them done. And they're both for babies, so I had to use yarn for their eyeballs. Otherwise I would have used safety eyes, because I like the way safety eyes look better. But don't need babies sawing eyeballs. So. And then the last thing I absolutely love, which y'all will see in a future video. I think I've mentioned this before in one of my other videos. I'm working on a mini-series. So he will be in the mini-series. And when I first started him, I absolutely hated him because I did not use a pattern. But I mean, it's very simple. It's literally 2 squares and it's all single crochets. But I was not happy with the way his face was turning out. But after I got done, he's perfect. And he was for an order too. But my brother-in-law, I sent my sister a picture and my brother-in-law saw it, and sorry for the dog in the background, and he saw it, and so now I have to make another one because he wants it. But yeah, there's Doodle Bob. Okay, so the best part of this video, the part y'all all have been waiting for, and I've been excited to talk about, is my best farmers market outcome. So last Saturday was the 17th, and the way our market runs, we have to be there between 6 and 7:30. So I normally get there right at 7 and set up, and then you can start selling at 7:30. So when we first started, there wasn't too many people walking through, but when it got closer to like 10 o'clock, I'd say, there was like a lot of people starting to walk through. And a lot of it was kids, so most of the people that bought stuff for me, they had kids with them, and they liked my items that I had laid out on the table. And I'll also post pictures, I guess I should say that, of my display stuff. So a lot of my stuff is not as fancy looking as other people's, and I'm trying to build my way up to make it more, I guess, aesthetic looking and more professional, but I'm also not trying to blow all my money that I'm making. So I finally bought a 3-shelf top thing, and I'll put a picture here of it, which was in one of my other videos, the Temu haul video. I absolutely love that thing, and I think it helped draw people's attention to my stuff. There was a lot more people looking through the animals than what I have in the past, because I was just using, and this is terrible, I was using just a plain tub, and it had the animals sit on top of it. So that was not pretty looking at all. And then on the table, I had some of my mom's beanies, some of her washcloths, she had bookmarks, and then we had a collection of both of our headbands we made sitting on top. And I started using these bowls. I have a blue bowl, and I put ducks in it. And somebody pointed out that it looked like the ducks were in a pond, and I was like, well, that's just perfect, why didn't I think about that? But people really like the ducks in that bowl. And then I had keychains on the table, I had tomatoes, strawberries, I did have a corn, I had 2, but people bought those. So yeah, that's kind of what my display stuff is. It's the table, I borrowed it from my Nana, so I didn't have to buy the table. The bowls we already had, so, well, actually we bought them for another event that we had, so I've been using the bowls, just reusing them. The other stuff that we have, I think most of the stuff we already had, like laying around the house and stuff. The only thing that I bought recently was that 3-shelf top thing. The only other things that I've really bought in the past was 2 frames. I have one frame that says cash only. I figured I didn't want to mess with PayPal or anything just yet while I'm starting out, so I'm just doing cash only. I do have PayPal. Only one person so far did not have cash, and they asked me if I'd done anything else, and I said I had PayPal, so we got that taken care of. And then the other frame that I have, it has Why Crochet Macing Pricey. I don't really know if people read those signs. I know they've seen the cash only. The other one I haven't had anybody comment on yet. Another thing that I've bought was a business card holder, and I have had a few people pick up the business cards, so that's good. And then the business cards, I've been doing them on my own. I made the design on Canva, And then I copy and pasted that on like a Word document. And I printed that out on a bunch of like hard paper, like cardstock paper kind of, and I cut it out myself. Okay, so that's it on that part. I don't want to make it extremely long and extremely boring. The part I guess we can talk about next. Let me see, I have stuff wrote out here. We'll go over what I sold at the market last time. So I did not count up how many we have. Let me do that. So I sold 28 things in total. The first thing I sold was a stitch, and I'll also tell you all the prices of everything. And I'll put pictures up on the screen so y'all can see what it looked like, if I have a photo. The stitch I sold for $20, and then I sold a boo. The boo was sold for $12. Next thing I sold was a little strawberry, and it was $3, which some of my strawberries are like chocolate covered, but I don't remember which one. I did not write down that. So I sold a strawberry for $3, and then the next thing I sold was a beanie, which is actually my mom's. It had a pom-pom on it, and I don't have a photo of that, but it was $12. And then the next thing I sold was earrings, and if I remember correctly, I think it was a pair of crocheted daisy earrings, and it was $2. Next thing I sold was a granny bag. It was $35. And the next thing was a bottle holder, and I don't think I have a photo. I will look, but I'm pretty sure I don't. It was $8. And then the next thing I sold, it was 5 pairs of earrings, and it's actually the ones that I have on right now. They bought 5 pairs, so that was $10 in total. And then, if y'all are interested, I still have these. These are not crocheted, but I still have some. The next thing I sold was a cover-up. I think it was my pink one. It was for $15. And then I sold a frog, and it was $3. And actually, that was the only frog I had at the time. I am gonna make more. I'm planning to make a like a market prep with me video. I think I'll do that maybe next week, but we'll see. So stay tuned for that. And the next thing I had that I sold was a duck keychain. I do not have a photo of these. I only had 2 made, which I think I still have one, but they're in my car. The next thing was just a regular duck. It was $3. And then the next thing was a fox. It was $10. And then the next thing was the last corn on the cob that I had. It was $8. And the next thing was 2 keychains. I don't remember if it was 2 donuts, 2 coffee, or if it was one of each, because I didn't write that down. But it was one of those keychains, or both. And then the next thing, which I'm very, very happy I sold, was Jerry. So the Tom and Jerry things that I made were huge. And I had him marked for $30. They bought it for $30. And then they actually had left my area, and then they came back and they wanted Tom, which I had Tom marked for $40, but they only had $35. So they asked me if I'd take him for $35, or if they could take him. And I said sure, because I was tired of carrying him around. So finally, got rid of those. And the next thing I sold was some more earrings. And I think it was another one of these. I'm not sure. And then the next thing I sold was Captain America for $15. And then I sold another duck for $3. And then the other thing I sold was earrings. These seem to be pretty popular. And then the next thing I sold was another keychain, and I think it was a donut or coffee. It wasn't one of the ducks, it was one of the coffee or donut. And then the last thing I sold was a Easter egg bunny for $6. So my total, I have it wrote down. Now this total does not include, I did not like subtract like material costs or anything like that. It's just what I made straight up from the market. Was $246. I will say that our vendor cost is already covered from past markets. We've got that taken care of, so we've made that money back and then some. But as far as materials go, or like display items that we have, any of that, I don't know. Okay, so I got cut off because my iPhone storage, so I'm going to talk really quickly. Best items were the ducks, the keychain donuts, and the keychain coffee. Kids really love the keychains, so I recommend those if anybody is looking for stuff to make at markets. The display thing with the 3 shelf really helped with the animals, so I did get more of those sold this time, and it was just an array of different stuff. I can't really say like this done better than the other because I didn't have multiples of those. I did notice a lot of more people my age liked the clothes that I had on a rack. Most of the stuff my mom has on that rack is like shawls. I noticed older people like those, but maybe the prices on those caused them not to really want to buy it. I'm not sure, because there was a few things they'd be like, oh, this is really pretty, but then they'd look at the price tag and put it to the side. So when it gets closer to the end of this farmer's market, we might drop the prices on some stuff just to get rid of it. So those weren't a bestseller. Beanies that were on the table, not a bestseller, which is kind of expected, it's summer. And then the washcloths, I noticed there was other people set up at the market that was selling washcloths. So maybe those people were buying washcloths from them, didn't want ours. That's fine. But yeah, I guess it was just some of the animals, the donuts, and the coffee. I do want to mention something before this video ends. I'm very excited about it. Somebody reached out to me through Messenger for a market in a different county than what I live in, and I've never had anybody reach out to me about setting up as a vendor. So I filled out the application yesterday, and I'm going to put it in the mail tomorrow morning, and hopefully I get accepted. It's only $25 to set up. They have a covered area that's provided. They do have tables, but it's kind of like a first come, first serve type thing. So I'm going to try and get there so I can get a table, but I will bring one just in case. It's more of an area where there's more people that are willing to spend money, I guess. So I'm very, very excited, and I am hoping to have time to make a lot of, like, what's it called? A big quantity of different items. Like the leggy frogs, gonna make a whole bunch of those. The ducks, make a whole bunch of those. So I'm also thinking about making some octa. I've seen people making those for markets lately, and they seem to sell really good. And this market is in August, but I want to make sure it is set in stone and clarified that I can come before I like tell y'all everything about it. But I'll probably do a video if it does really good. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be in August. But before I get cut off again, thank y'all for watching. I think I have currently 237 subscribers. I think I'll put it up on the screen. I just want to say thank y'all to everybody that's been watching my videos, been liking them, everybody that subscribed to me. It is making me so happy. And doing these videos is a little bit weird talking, but I'm trying to get better at it to the camera. Also, I'm not good at looking at the camera. I look at the screen, so sorry for that. But yeah, before this thing cuts off, I hope y'all enjoyed and come back to see more videos, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!